What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome to the Deal Desk. This is episode 89. I can't believe it. Been doing this for a while, so I'm back making live calls today. If you missed last week's episode, I highly suggest you watch that, replay that. Got a couple accepted offers, a pretty decent size projected profit. And, one thing that I've been getting feedback on, which is great, people like, is you have to have a system to when you make calls. You have to have a system. You can't be calling people and winging it and just call people and not know what to say. You have to have a system in place. Each call, you need to get the why you want to sell, when you want to sell, how much you want to sell for, right? And you got to keep in mind when you're making these calls, regardless what script you use, what list you call, you have to have a system in place for each one. Okay. And the best thing about the show is that I do this stuff live. You guys will see the good, the bad, the ugly. I mean, all 89 episodes. You're going to be able to see a lot of interesting stuff, including some guests as well. So this is on YouTube. All I ask is you click that like and subscribe button. Go ahead and share. If you want to submit your leads to be called live, head over to the REI Toolbox. There's also some other goodies on there. But let's get started. So our first property, let's see, our first property, I think on the last episode, this is where I left off. This property actually it looks like it needs a lot of work. Just by looking time. Let me go ahead and all right, so this is in North Carolina. Okay, North Carolina. Oh, hold on a second. North Carolina. It needs a lot of work. Needs full rehab, complete rehab, roof needed. Needs everything. It's not vacant. Looks like it has a car in the front. Let me actually pull this up here real quick instead of share this screen. And keep in mind, care what seller you call. More than likely, you're not going to be the first person talking to that seller. So something you got to keep in mind is you have to stand out somehow, some way. Okay, whether that's spending more time, digging deeper into the why. I feel like not enough people really dig deep enough into the why you want to sell. Somebody says they want to sell because they're moving. Talk about it. Say, hey, where are you moving to? What kind of time frame, obviously. But get to know them more. It pays off getting to know the person a bit more. All right. Anyways, so this is the property. Actually, doesn't look too bad in the description. It sounds really bad, but it says complete rehab needed. Roof needs replacement, air conditioning, approximately 2,500 square feet. Multifamily. This doesn't look like. Are you sure this is the right address? I mean, it could be wrong. It says multifamily. Maybe it's a duplex. She's looking to cash out and buy something else. So when you talk to these people, her reason is she wants to cash out and buy something else. Why does she want to cash out? She's tired of maintenance, the tenants. Does she want another property to rent out, a multifamily, single family? Get to know the person a little bit more. All right, so let's go ahead and call this person. I don't even know how to pronounce this last name. Baliukanis. I don't know. I'll try my best. Okay, I'll try my best. So let's go ahead and give him a call. Make sure I'm sharing the audio here. I always call twice. They don't answer after 2 times. I'll go ahead and move on to the next call. All right. Let's see the pick up the phone. Let me turn this up a little bit. I thought it was in worse shape than this. Maybe I was thinking about a different property. This is actually not that bad. It doesn't look like that bad. There was another property looking at. It was just like rough, but this doesn't look too bad. Asking price did not say. It's okay.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Let's hang up. Let's call one more time. Redial. They don't pick up, we'll move on to the next one. Always call more than once. Okay? Some people even call 3 times. That's fine. Looks like they answered that time and they just hung up the phone because it didn't go to voicemail. So I'm going to call one more time. If they don't answer that one more time, I'm going to move on. All right, the next one is in Ohio. Let that ring out. All right.
Your call has
no answer. So we are going to the next one. This one is in Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio. Is there any photos? Yes, there's photos. All right, so let me pull this up here. Cleveland, Ohio. No answer. Let me X this out here. All right, perfect. So this one, Cleveland, Ohio, complete rehab needed, asking $19,000. Now, you'd be surprised. $19,000 sounds like a good price. You know, some markets, it's actually not a good price. I mean, some parts of some markets in the Northeast, the homeowner can try to sell for $1,000 and it still won't be a good price. You know, so you got to look at some areas that are very block by block. Keep a close tab on them because sometimes it just doesn't make any sense. But this looks pretty good. All right, so $19,000. It says complete rehab needed. New roof, summer 2021, house completely gutted, has basement, has reason for selling, has several properties. He was looking to rehab this and rent it out, but he has other projects that have more priority. Would rather sell this and focus on the others for right now. He's looking to sell ASAP before he changes his mind and starts working on this one. Interesting. So it seems like he's motivated, but he's undecisive. All right, so let's give this person a call. An easier last name. Okay. And let's pull up smartphone and start dialing. I mean, it doesn't look bad for $19,000. I wouldn't know unless I start running comps on it. But first, we're going to see if they pick up the phone because they may not even pick up the phone. I don't like running comps unless the person's on the phone. Okay. Let's see if they pick up the phone.
I'm sorry, but the person you called.
Sorry. I'm going to call right back. Let's call right back. Redial. Recent calls. Redial. With people that have multiple properties, you know, obviously they're going to be a lot more savvy about the industry. You want to talk to them in a way that they know that you're savvy too. You can say things like ARV. You can say things like cash comps and cap rate and all this stuff, okay? When it comes to other investors that have multiple properties, you're not sorry. So I'm going to hang that up. What I was saying is when it comes to other investors, because you will talk to people that want to sell their house that are also in this industry, and just because they're another investor does not mean that they will not give you the house at a discount. They understand the game. One thing that I recommend to anybody and everybody, when you're talking to a homeowner, all right, when you're talking to a homeowner, you don't want to say cash comps. You don't want to say ARV comps. You don't even want to say comps. Homeowners that aren't in real estate are not going to be familiar with those terms. So when those things happen, you know, instead of cash comps, say similar properties and as is condition. Instead of saying ARV, say fully updated properties. When you're talking to other real estate investors, you can say ARV and cash comps and all that stuff. So this next property that I see here in Memphis, it says this is actually under contract. This home is under contract. Okay. It's also on the MLS, so I'm actually going to skip this one. Okay. And if you ever talk to a homeowner that their house is under contract, one thing that I like to do is say, hey, my name is Steven. I actually noticed your property is listed on the market. And then I do a takeaway. Just to let you know, I didn't realize this until I called you, but I typically don't buy properties that are listed with the agents only because a lot of people have already seen it, and you're probably more likely looking for full market value, right? And I want to ask an open-ended questions to see the response. You'd be surprised. Some people, just because their property is listed for sale does not mean they're having a good experience with the real estate agent, okay? Shame on the real estate agent, all right? But, you do want to do a takeaway because some people say, well, I'm just curious. Well, what is your cash offer, right? What is your cash offer? If they're interested and they're still curious about the cash offer, proceed with the script. But you don't want to walk into a property that's listed on the market, because there's just a few more hoops to jump through. All right, so I'm assuming this property is vacant. This next one here is in Knoxville, Tennessee. Let me go ahead and share my screen so you can see what I'm looking at. Knoxville, Tennessee. All right, so it says here, let me see. Asking price, wouldn't give me price. What repairs are needed? Vacant land, vacant lot. Okay, so I guess they, any other important details? David told me that he tore the house down and now it is just a vacant property. He said that he's looking to build a fourplex on the property to bring in cash flow. It is in a great area with University of Tennessee nearby, but he said that some of the property is, I got to click this one on, is flood zone, meaning that you can't build on the whole property, only one portion. All right, so they tore the house down. I guess this picture's old. It's interesting because this must have happened recently. All right, I mean, we're about to be in September, but this is the same year, 2022. All right, cool. So this is a vacant lot. So when it comes to this, everybody runs their, comps differently. I'll tell you how I run my comps here in a second when it comes to vacant land, because for me, it's actually a little bit easier to run comps. There is a few different kind of questions you do have to ask and then some information. But let's see if they pick up the phone. While it's ringing, I copy and paste the address. I start running comps. Oops.
Sorry, you reached my voice.
Oh, interesting. On PropStream, it doesn't show a house at all. It looks like it is in a really good area. Let's go ahead and call the person back again and see if they pick up the phone. And then I'll talk a little bit more about how I run comps when it comes to vacant land. All right, let's start running comps on this while it's going. It's a big lot. Pretty good area.
Sorry, you reached my voice.
All right, he's not answering. So let me tell you how I run comps on land. When it comes to land, there's a few things I look at. The first thing I look at is the size of the lot. Now, this lot size here is 33,454 square feet. And when you're looking at comparable properties, you have to make sure the lot size is similar. You can't evaluate a 3,000 square foot lot to a 33,000 square foot lot. You have to make sure it's similar. Typically, I mean, I personally like to go above or below 300 square feet. Obviously, you could be a little bit more flexible with it than single family, but you do take that into consideration. The second thing I look at is the zoning. All right, what is the zoning? What can you build on it? All right, so when you're looking in the area at some similar properties, you're going to be able to see what the lot size is zoning. So once I look at that, I look at new construction. Okay, is there any new construction in this area? If you do find any new construction, okay, which I don't see anything in this area. But if you do see some new construction, what you want to do is you want to click on that property. You also evaluate the lot size for that. You look at the zoning, you look at the transaction history, and then you want to look at what the builder paid for the land. If there's not new construction, whether there's or not, I mean, I also look at vacant land in the area. Okay, so I'll look at vacant land and I'll see if anything is selling that's vacant land recently there. So I'm looking at these comps. I don't see any new construction, but I do see one lot that sold for $422,000. So I'm going to open this up. Obviously, I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing. I can't show you the address and details. I want to keep your leads confidential. So let's take a look at this. So I only found one lot that sold for $422,000. I'm going to look at the lot size, the zoning. Also, when you're talking to sellers, you have to ask questions like, are there any septic or utilities attached to the land? If there used to be a house on it, chances are there are. Whoa. Okay, so this lot, hold on a second. This lot is 8,581 square feet. Okay. But it's categorized as a vacant land, but it shows a house on it. It doesn't show the year built. Chances are the 422,000 is actually what it sold for brand new, because just comparing the price points in this area, you have to use common sense. Sometimes you're not going to see the full picture on the comps. You have to dig in more. So if I'm looking at comps in this area, single family houses really are 300,000 range. And then I click vacant land. I see this $422,000. There's no way a lot is going to sell for more than a house, depending. You'd be surprised. But in this scenario, it says there's some information on the house. So I'm assuming $422,000 is for what the house sold for. I'm looking at the transaction history of this, and it does not show what it is, but what it sold for. But it does show the name of the LLC. So sometimes you come across things like this. If you're limited on data, it doesn't hurt to go the extra mile. So I see this XYZ property LLC. I'm just going to say XYZ. I'm going to reach out to them. I can copy and paste to Google. I can look at open corporates, skip trace, whatever. And then I'm going to reach out to them and say, hey, I noticed you bought a property on 123 ABC Street. Are you guys still actively building properties in the area? Okay. And if you're using PropStream, you could actually see link properties too to see if that was an individual sale or all together. So when it comes to land, ask the homeowners, is there any septic or utilities attached to the lot? Are there any structures on the land as well? And then it wouldn't hurt to ask for the zoning or the size while you look it up. All right. So let's move on to the next one. We called this one. The next one is in Florida. Asking price, not sure. What person needed? Not sure. What's the property condition? Not sure. You guys are killing me. Try to get some information. I contacted the seller, and she said she wants to sell, but was admitted about having a translator or someone that spoke Spanish. Well, here we go. I guess this is why you submit the lead to me. So let's see if they pick up the phone. Okay. I am bilingual, for those of you that don't know. Okay. So let's take this off. Let's pull this up here and see if they pick up the phone. This is the one we just looked at, Knoxville. This one is Pembroke Pines. All right, cool. All right, so not much information. Obviously, I'm assuming that you didn't get much information because you don't speak Spanish. That's okay. That's what I'm here for, right? So let's go ahead and call this person. Copy and paste this number. Oh, wait. I got to share my screen so you guys can see. This house actually looks pretty good shape. You know, they may have not given you much information, but you could definitely tell that it's not, I mean, at least what the outside looks like. Some houses, the outside looks really nice, and then the inside, it could be a completely different story. But this is the house. Doesn't look too bad, right? Doesn't look too bad. All right, so let's call this person. See if they pick up a phone here. Let's see. All right. I think I called the wrong number. Okay, here we go. No, what'd I do? Hold on a second. Undo. I'm not good with Excel spreadsheets. Hold on a second. Pheesh. Okay, good. By the way, I'm not an Excel spreadsheet expert, but Control-Z's undo. Just in case you didn't know, if that helps. Sometimes, you know what's real annoying when you try to update your Podio and then you almost get rid of the address. If you ever find yourself in that situation, what I find that works is you copy and paste a tab or you click Control-Z. Sometimes Control-Z won't work depending on the field, but you got to make sure that you don't make that mistake. All right, so let's call this person. Hey, Steven, when's the last deal you closed? Last week. Thanks for great advice. Steven Green from Tijuana, Baja California. California are using ZenCall. I am using smartphone to make these calls. The cold calling company we have uses Ready Mode, which is formerly called ZenCall, but I'm considering switching to Call Tools. More on that later.
Please leave your message.
Nobody wants to pick up today. All right, so let's call this person back. If not, the next lead is in Florida as well, West Park. But again, there's not enough notes on here. I'm assuming they speak Spanish too. We'll see. Let's try calling this person back. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. Sometimes when it's a slow day, you know, no calls are being answered, I still like to talk about ways that I can help you out. Because if I call your lead and they don't pick up, but I see some notes, I'm going to try to give you some advice on how to close that lead or how to approach that lead. Okay? So you get something. Hello, Mr. León.
Sí.
Sí, tú hablaste con mi compañero sobre tu casa en Pembroke Pines.
¿Qué compañero?
Déjame ver aquí un momento. Tú hablaste con Jade.
Jade.
Sí, con Jade sobre tu casa. Oh, hold on a second. Jade, you submitted this lead. I hope they like it. Let me call him back though. So he was asking me, for those who don't speak Spanish, you know, I told him, I'm calling you in regards to your house. You spoke to my partner about your house. They asked me who's your partner. Then I had to scroll to the right in the Excel spreadsheet so I can say who submitted it. Because, you know, when I'm calling these leads, they're not going to know who I am. It's the first time I'm talking to them, but it's not a cold call. The people that submit the leads, you've already spoken to them. I'm going to try to close it for you, or at least set up something for you. But let me call this guy back. It says here Maria, but it's not Maria, so I'm assuming it's her husband.
Oigo.
Hello.
Sí, dígame.
Sí, Steven, tú hablaste con mi compañero Jade sobre tu casa. ¿Tú quieres vender?
¿Sobre qué?
Si tú quieres vender tu casa, tú hablaste con mi compañero.
No, yo no quiero vender mi casa.
¿No quiere vender tu casa?
Absoluto.
¿Por qué no?
Porque no, yo estoy bien así, hijo.
Dice aquí que tú hablaste con mi compañero sobre tu casa que tú quieres vender.
No, señor, no. Él
No.
sabe.
Ok. Gracias. Tenga un buen día.
Igual, hijo.
Okay. She don't want to sell. You know that when you guys put these leads in here, let me see what notes you put in here. I contacted the seller. She said she wanted to sell, but admitted whenever you call somebody and then you call them back and then they change their mind, you should still follow up with these people because when you initially spoke with them, they want to sell their house. But the thing is that what they won't tell you is what happened in between the first contact and the second contact. Okay. Now, I would still recommend nurturing this lead, Jade. So call this person back, keep checking in with them because when you guys originally spoke, there's a reason they still wanted to sell. Maybe they're just not in the mood to talk today. They don't want to sell their house. They said they're okay there. All right. So I'm not going to dig too deep, but definitely put this on your follow-up. All righty. Let's see here. Who's next? So we called this one West Park is the next one. Hopefully there's a little bit more information here than the last one. Okay. Let's see, let's pull this up here. West Park. There's no street view for this, so I'm just going to read and call the person. So 500,000, not sure. They don't know what repairs need. They don't know the condition. 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, no updates to kitchen, bathrooms, roof, flooring, or plumbing. AC 6 months old. 2 tenants, 10 months remaining. $750 rent in 30 days. Oh, hold on. No, that's the wrong note. Let me go back up here. I told you I'm not good at Excel. All right, so called me. He called and he called me back very angry and told me don't call his phone unless we're offering him 500,000. Woo! All right, so I'm gonna have to clean up this mess. Listen, I don't know what I can offer this guy. I haven't even talked to him. I haven't ran comps, so I'm gonna call him anyway. It's been a while since I've gotten somebody angry here or one of the guests on season 2, but can't answer right now. But let's call these people and see if they pick up the phone. So this is in West Park, Florida. There's no street view. We can't see what it looks like. No information. Just says he's angry. You cannot be afraid to call people that are angry. Maybe they had a bad day. Maybe they are not having a bad day. Maybe that's just the way they are. Maybe they're sick of people calling them. But let's see if we can offer them 500,000. Let's see. I'm going to start running comps here. Mr. Gaskin. It reminds me of the fantasy football. I still got to do that with the squad. All right, let's call him right back. See, when it comes to making calls, you gotta have thick skin. You can't be afraid to talk to somebody that has been upset. And remember, it's not that they're upset with you. Maybe they're upset with other people that have called them a million times, and maybe they've had a bad experience. Maybe they talked to somebody new. Maybe they had a contract with somebody else and it fell through. A lot of these things is cleaning up somebody else's mess. Okay? So I don't think you're picking up where the last person left off. You have to create a new experience. You have to spend more time with them, let them know how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Mr. Gaskin. My name is Steven. I believe you spoke with my partner a while back in regards to your property in 39th Avenue. Were you still looking to sell that property?
Yeah, I told your partner how much I want. You all ready to buy?
Well, I'm going to make you an offer, and I'll make you an offer that makes sense to us. Did I catch it a good time?
What's your offer?
Yeah, so in order for me to give you the best offer possible, I just want to ask you a few more questions other than what I see here on the notes. Is that okay?
Hello. Listen, if you're not calling me, don't call me. Don't waste my time, for real.
Oh, you don't want to sell?
And what's your offer? I want to sell, but this all this talking and everybody calling me and asking me stupid questions. Okay, I don't have a time for it. And if you don't want to buy, let's do it. Let me hear what you offer. If you don't got to offer,
okay,
don't waste my time, bro.
Have you ever bought a car without test driving it?
Yeah, a lot of times. Hey, anyway, I tell you my price. I want $1 million. If you got $1 million, don't call my phone.
All right, so obviously he's not motivated. So I'm looking actually here in the comps. This house probably is not worth $350-ish. He went from $500,000 to $1 million. And this is actually very important. You take note of this, because if you're using cold callers, you have to teach them how to understand sarcasm as well, because some people, they may ask $500,000, $1 million, don't call me. But the thing is, that's a perfect example of somebody that just wants to hear an offer, or if they don't get the price they want, even though it's ridiculously higher than anything else selling in the area, not to waste their time. In reality, you're wasting your time. So people like that, you just got to keep moving forward. Do not spend time with somebody like that. That is somebody that's not really interested in selling. Okay? Somebody that's interested in selling needs or wants to sell. Somebody that's not interested in selling just wants to hear an offer or what the house may be worth. And you may talk to some nice people that just want to hear an offer, but if they just want to hear an offer, just to hear an offer, 9 times out of 10, when you go through that whole script, they will be like, okay, thanks, I'll think about it, when they weren't really interested in selling in the first place. Okay. All right. So let's move on to this next one. This is in Texas. Oh, look at this. It says for sale on Zillow. Price cut $15,000. Looks like it's been on for 2 months. Wow. Now, you know what? I am going to call this person because I do want to bring that up. Okay? Let me show you something. So this property says it's been listed for 120 days. It's probably ridiculously overpriced. Or let's see what's going on with it. We don't know. We do know it's still in the market, it's still available. So we're gonna call this person. All right, let me share my screen. Give me 1 second. This is Waco, Texas. All right. Here's a property. Okay. Let's see here. So let's check out the notes. All right. They're asking $250,000. Okay. Windows, what repairs needed? Windows. He doesn't know the last time the roof was replaced. They've owned the house for 5-6 years. No issues with AC. You got a lot of notes. Are great notes. Said he's owned the house for 5 to 6 years. No issues with AC/water heater. Said they'd go fix it right away when the property has issues. Bathroom, kitchen, flooring, no issues. Said that they bought the property. They remodeled it. Said that property is a 100-year-old 2-story home. So it's an antique and has a lot of charm to it. It has an outdoor balcony, no foundation issues, no cracks on the ceilings or walls. House needs paint on the inside. Has an outdoor balcony, no garage. Electric, plumbing in good condition. He said windows need to be replaced. No fire, water, mold, or termite damage. Said it might need between $20,000 and $30,000 to fix the property. So he's asking $250,000. It's been on the market for a while. So let's see what's going on with this. And I will say that, I see it's listed. I typically don't buy these, but I figure I'd give you a call. When you talk to people, just talk to them like the humans they are, get to know them, find out their situation. There's a reason it's been on the market so long, right? Are they having a good experience with their agent? That could be another potential problem. we don't want to step on the agent's toes. We want to respect the agent. But if they're not happy with their agent, I do want to let them know the options that we can help them out with. Looks like it's in great shape. They didn't answer. All right, so let's call them again, see if they pick up the phone. All right. Hold on a second. Let me remove this. Let me call from here. I don't know if they're going to pick up the phone, but we're going to try. If they don't pick up, we're going to move on to the next one. And then I'm going to call another iSpeed to lead, okay? Because the last one was pretty good. All right, so this one, call more time, then we're moving on to Atlanta, Georgia. Hello? It's weird. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, no answer for this. The next one is in Atlanta, Georgia. Let me pull this up. Cedar Avenue. Oh, let me check this off. This one has some good notes. They're asking 170. Man, this has been on the market. Whoever submitted this lead in Waco, Texas, that they're asking 250, make sure you check back in with that person and find out why they're having such a hard time selling their house. If people have had their property listed for a while, especially with an agent, right, with a real estate agent, they may have some more motivation. They may be frustrated. Okay, it's interesting. It shows the same house, two different colors on the street view, and then the picture on Zillow. All right, so this property here, let's see. Let me share my screen. All right, so this property, they're asking $170,000, fair condition. 2, 1.5, no updates, kitchen, bathroom. Well, this is the one with the tenants. Okay, cash motivated. All right, cool. So let's call this person. Dang it, I did that thing again. I got to press Control Z. All right, cool. All right, got the phone number. And their name is... another really hard name. Well, okay. It's not too hard. All right, so let's call them, see if they pick up the phone. Cash motivated. That doesn't really tell me enough. That doesn't give me a tough enough explanation of why they want to sell. I want to dig into that if they pick up the phone.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated.
All right, let's call again, and then we'll move on to the iSpeed to lead, the buffet of motivated sellers. Call this person one more time. If you're wondering what I'm using, I'm using smartphone, like I said. If you go to the RI Toolbox, you can get 30% off 3 months. They're pretty solid. Really easy to use if you use Podio. They also have a power dialer you can use. They do a lot. I'm a very simple person when it comes to systems and processes. I like it to keep it the same way. Oh, I thought they were going to pick up the phone there. $170. Let me see, run these comps here.
Your call has been forwarded
All right.
to an automatic voice
They
message
did not
system.
pick up the phone.
404399.
Let's take this off. All right, so let's go to iSpeed to lead. Let's find over there. All right, so like I mentioned last week, iSpeed to lead is pretty solid. Look at it as a buffet of motivated leads. You can see what you get before you get it. And I also talked about a specific criteria that you should look for, because there will be stuff on there that people submit that may be other investors, and there will be homeowners that put properties that are listed. Okay. So let's go to now. Before we go that, I'll answer a few questions. Again, they did not answer. Let me go to speed to lead. I was looking at a few before I actually went live, and I found one that I look for older leads, and something to pay close attention to as well is you want to focus on the reason they want to sell. I'll get to the questions in a second. Keep the questions coming, guys. I'll save that till the end, but I want to keep these calls going. So what I was saying is this area right here. Let me click this. You don't want to focus on the like if the lead is just came in today or yesterday, or it could even be a week ago, right? But you really want to focus on the reasons, right? So they also have these bookmarks here. This little paper airplane is SMS, all right? So you want to focus on the reasons. One of the reasons that I personally don't make a priority are people that want to sell without showings, okay? If somebody wants to sell without a showing, they may make negotiating a little bit more tricky, because obviously if you guys plan on assigning the property, you have to have an inspection or your buyer go out there. These people most of the time want to sell sight unseen, which there's nothing wrong with that. But if they put pristine condition sight unseen and they don't want to go through the whole process of showing the property, I mean, just pick and choose what you want, okay? So I like to look at ASAP to a month. I'm just looking at the bookmarks right now. I'll get to the leads in a second. Owner or agent / wholesaler, I pick, yes, I own this property. These are the things that the seller will see when they submit their information. Is the property listed? No, it's not listed. Yes, it is. So I actually found this one. Okay, this is 2 days old. And if I look at these details, retirement elsewhere is the reason. Fair condition, repairs, roof needs replacement, paint inside, owner occupied, how fast, 1 month. Okay, they're updating their mortgage, 15, 19 years. They've owned it. Square footage. Now, if you're a premium member, you're going to see all this extra information over here. If you're not a premium member, you're not going to see this. Okay, highly suggest you guys look into the premium mode, because they give you more options, and you're able to see a little bit more details about the property. So let's go ahead and buy this lead, and let's see if they pick up the phone. Okay. I'm going to take this off because I'm not going to show you the details of the property I'm buying. Okay. And then when you buy it, you can review the details immediately. It'll send you a little email confirmation. Congratulations buying your lead. Oh, wait, let me show you this real quick. So whenever you do buy it, it shows this view details. Okay. I'm going to click view details. And remember, any lead that you guys buy on here is guaranteed off market. So if they're in the process of listing it or under contract with somebody else, they will give you 100% refund. So you can shop these leads with confidence. This is interesting. Part of his email is grumpy Rick. Interesting. Hopefully he's not grumpy when I call him. So I'm going to get right to it. I'm going to first let me show you the property. Okay. And then I'll give them a call. We already saw all the basic information about it. It's just a matter of getting them on the phone. Also, when you click my leads, it's almost like a mini CRM. You're able to change the statuses. You know, if you have Podio or other integrations, you can do CRM integration via Zapier. So that's always good too. That way, when you buy a lead, it goes straight into your CRM. And then you can have your acquisitions call if you'd like, or whatever, your lead manager or whatever you have going on. One thing before I call this lead, I want to let you guys know I get blown up about the cold calling services and acquisitions and all that. today's the last day of its current prices. There's a lot of demand. The acquisitions manager sold out, and we're taking on a waiting list. But there's a lot of demand. When it comes to a lot of demand, if I'm personally training these people the first 10 days for cold caller or lead manager, and I train acquisitions for the 6 weeks, and then I also meet with them, it takes up a lot of my time. Okay, and we want to make sure that we deliver good quality VA. So if that's something you're interested in, head over to mastercallers.com. All you have to do is fill out the form. If you fill out the form and then you decide to use a service a week later, you're still going to be locked into its current price. And the form's all timestamped and everything, so we'll be able to track that. Now, this lead right here, let me see if I can pull this up because I cannot find this. Sometimes you'll copy and paste an address and you won't see it. Here it is. All right, cool. Let me just make sure, double check. This is Grumpy Rick's house. It is Grumpy Rick's house. Okay. So let's see if Grumpy Rick picks up first. Let's see if he picks up the phone. Because if he doesn't, you just click contact attempted and you do want to follow up. PPC leads, you have to follow up. If they don't answer the phone a certain amount of times, put them in a drip campaign. Hit them from different angles. Call from different numbers. SMS. You could even direct mail them if they haven't picked up for a long time. This house actually doesn't look too bad. Let me share my screen and show you what I'm looking at. All right, so this is a property. Okay. Now, since I'm using smartphone, I'm going to change my number to a Washington number because Washington is one of the markets that I'm in. I love Washington. So let's put this here. I'm going to copy and paste the address. And if you have smartphone, you could just click it. You don't even have to copy and paste it. You have to turn on that feature. Let's see if they pick up the phone. Grumpy Rick. Pull up the notes here. I get blown up on these things. I could put some do not disturb. I love you guys, but I can't talk right now. Nobody's ordered this lead. I'm surprised. iSpeed2Lead gets tons of leads. And sometimes when you are looking at some leads, it'll say 0 orders. Now, keep in mind, some of these leads you could buy, and if you want to keep it all to yourself, you pay a little bit extra. But some of these leads have 0 orders. So you'll be actually the first one. Okay, so I'm going to try this person again. I'll probably make a few more calls on some other ones, and then we'll do some Q&A. So if you have any Q&A, drop them now in the chat. I'm going to answer them at the end. Let's call this person one more time and see if they pick up the phone.
Please leave your...
All right, no answer. I'll call one more of your guys' leads, and then we're going to get into Q&A, okay? Drop as many questions as you want. You can ask me anything, okay? So this person didn't answer. Stop sharing this. Let's call one more over here. Okay, I called this lady that only speaks Spanish. Here's another one in Georgia. Now, some of these prices, I see you put here 270, comma or quotation marks, retail. But don't ever get intimidated by the price, guys. The price somebody's asking does not determine the motivation. Keep that in mind. Price does not determine motivation. Price does not determine motivation. Price can be negotiated. Some people just throw a price on there that they see on Zillow or Realtor, Redfin, whatever. It does not mean that they can't be negotiated, okay? So don't ever get intimidated by the price. Now, the reason they want to sell and the asking price they want to, or I'm sorry, the asking price, the reason and the time frame, forget asking price. I'm stuck on that. The reason they want to sell and the time frame that they want to sell in will tell you more about their situation rather than the price. Price can be negotiated. Reason for selling typically doesn't change. If anything gets worse, more motivated. And time frame, I mean that usually the faster they want to sell it, usually the more motivated they are. All right, so let me pull this up. This is in Atlanta, Georgia. Needs some work, but they're asking full retail. And also, if some sellers are letting you know that this house needs work in advance, typically they're going to be a lot more receptive to you guys negotiating, which is a good thing. I like working with those kinds of sellers because they already know, hey, my house needs work. But you know, they may just be asking, whoa, hold on a second. They're asking $270, which is fine. Okay. Fine for them, not fine for me. Okay. But let's dig into this. All right, let's look at some more notes. Let me go and share your my screen so I can show you what I'm looking at. House doesn't look too bad. Okay. This is the house. All right. And they're asking $270,000. It says it needs some work here. All right. Home has fresh paint, wood floors, hot water, 5 years old, roof 5 years old, AC 4 years old, no other updates. Tenant paying $1,900 with 6 months remaining on lease. Okay, perfect. And it does not say, let me see. Oh, reason for selling, for opportunities. Really? No, hold on a second. That's the wrong lead. This one. Yeah. Reason for selling. Open to hearing cash offer would not provide reason for being open to an offer. Those are the ones you got to look out for. All right. Not to say that they wouldn't sell, but typically people that just want to hear your offer without giving you a reason for selling are not people that are very motivated to sell. Okay. Keep that in mind. Pick your battles. Let's go ahead and give them a call. And then we'll get into Q&A. So drop more questions. We're going to wrap up with some Q&A. Ooh. Hello?
The mailbox is...
Man, that lady must have created that voicemail on an airplane or something. No answer. Let's call back one time. You know, in this Deal Desk series, we've heard a variety of interesting voicemails. I think my favorite one was season 1. This guy was like, it was like some kind of like, it was a cow or something, or he was like singing their song or something. I'm gonna have to find it. It was hilarious. But the ones that I don't like is like the voicemails that I hate are the ones where they pretend like they're answering the phone. So you're like, oh, they answered. And they're like, please leave a message. You know, they get me every time with that. Hate those. So let's see if they pick up the phone this time or if they're still on the airplane. All right, so they're still on the airplane. All right, so let's get into some Q&A, guys. Let's get to some Q&A. Go ahead and drop some questions that you may have, and I'll be more than happy to answer. Okay, let me X this out. Take this off. The reason I have 2 screens is because I open up a lot of tabs. I'll probably get 4 screens at some point. All right, so I also want to show you this before I get into Q&A. Wrong button. I want to show you this just in case you haven't seen it. Okay. If you are interested in inquiring about the cold callers, lead managers, or acquisitions, go to mastercallers.com. you can see a little bit about us, who we are, the packages we currently offer, full-time managed cold caller, part-time managed cold caller, full-time managed acquisitions. Lead managers actually is available. I'm going to have this updated. The managers are still, acquisition managers still sold out. Each acquisition rep trained by me for 6 weeks. The first 4 weeks, we go over like the fundamentals and all that stuff. The last 2 weeks to week and a half, we do live calls. Increase your projected profit per deal is what I train them on. Analyze and make an offer within minutes. Ready, negotiate, and close. Ongoing support and training, so they get better and better. These are actually a few of the acquisitions agents. They are rock stars. Okay. This is what I need to do. If you're interested in the cold calling services or VA or whatever you need, you have to go to mastercars.com/connect. You have to fill out this form. If you message me on Instagram, Steven, what are the prices for this? The prices vary depending how many you get and when you get it and what you get, right? The prices are going up today. At the end of the day, the prices are going up today. So as long as you fill out this form, whether you buy it today or next week, you will be locked in for this price. If you don't fill out this form, you say, Steven, I heard you, I heard you say on the deal, this prices are going up. I'm inquiring you about today. Can you honor it? I'm just going to say no, guys, because, you get to a point where you grow so much, it requires more time. I can't compare a Ferrari to Honda, two completely different things. I value this in quality leads because when I've used a lot of different cold calling companies in the past, I wrote down a list of things that, they could have done better, and that's what we're offering here. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so make sure you fill out this form, mastercars.com/contact, and somebody from the team will reach out. All right, cool. Let's get into some Q&A. Answered that one. How many VA cold caller do you have? How many calls a day each? So in my personal company, we have 4 cold callers. Now, before, let's say you get a cold callers from master callers, right? Somebody completed the training. We train in groups, they're ready to go. They start calling my leads as well. So I start listening more, and they start practicing. Once we find a client, they get onboarded to that client. My personal VAs, if they're on a power dial, they make thousands of calls a day, but they have to at least connect with 500, talk to 500 people. Out of those 500 people, not everybody's going to be interested. Okay, you may get a couple leads, but I personally don't aim for 2 to 3 leads a day. It's different each day. Okay. Especially with Master Cars, we don't offer 2 to 3 leads a day because we incentivize off of weekly performance. Okay. One day you may have 1 lead. One day you may have 3 leads. One day you may have 1 lead. One day you may have 5 leads. It'll fluctuate. Okay. Average 2 to 3 leads a day. But if I don't have 5 leads or 3 leads in one day, I'm not going to flip out because it has to, it goes up and down. Okay, I do recommend at least 10,000 records per caller. Okay, glad I made it. I'm glad you made it. How would you tell if they just playing around before taking them down your process? So I think you're referring to the Mr. $1 Million guy that their house worth $300,000. The way you could tell if they're playing around, number one, they try rushing you. They try getting you to tell them a price before you get information. And with people like that, that's why I threw out the thing of, have you ever bought a car without test driving it? Okay. Some people do that. It's not, I personally will not buy a car unless I test drove it. Okay. That's just me. I don't know about you guys. Hopefully you do the same thing. I wouldn't want to buy the car and then there's all these issues. All right. Whether it's new or used. Okay. That's why I throw that out there. And the guy's like, oh, you're wasting my time. I told your person my price, which was $500,000. Now keep in mind, their property is worth probably $330, I think, $330, $350. And then they went to $1 million. Obviously, if they try to rush you, they're super unrealistic about price. That's a great indication that it's somebody that is just messing around. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to talk to people that mess around because I'm trying to close deals. Okay, I'm talking to people because I want to make offers. All right, let's see here. If the property is listed and the seller is involved with a realtor, do I add any additional information into my assignment contract? If so, what? It depends. So, like, if a homeowner is motivated, okay, they want to sell, but they're involved with the agent, sometimes they prefer that the agent works with you, whether they're under contract with them or not. So I talk to the agent just as if they're the seller, okay? So, if you're working with an agent, that's fine. Just make sure that, they know that they're still going to get taken care of. Also, I like using my documentation, my contracts, okay? If the agent wants you to use their contracts and it's a do or die, I'm completely okay with that as long as it's and or assignable, okay, and has an inspection period. Those are the two main things. And listen, guys, you can't walk into a seller or an agent and tell them, hey, I plan on getting this under contract and wholesaling. They don't know who you are. They don't trust you. I mean, they just met you. That it's real estate. They may not feel comfortable with it. You are a real estate acquisitions company. When you get a property under contract, you can do whatever the heck you want with it, whether it's flip it, rent it, or sign it, as long as the homeowner is getting taken care of. There's a lot of people in this industry that are new and they're not taught the right way to do things. And you have to make sure you stick to your ethics. All right. So you can use the agent's documentation. If you're using your documentation, everything's the same. As far as the agents I've done business with, I've done business and closed deals with numerous agents, and they're okay with me using my contracts. If they want to go over it with their client, I send them a blank one. Never, ever send out a contract filled out, whether it's a homeowner, an attorney, a real estate agent. If anybody ever wants to review the terms, that's completely okay. You never want to hesitate if somebody wants to do that, because they're going to question your credibility. So email them a blank one. Okay? But yes, long story short, it's pretty much the same process. What do you do with the leads asking for full retail? Great question. So anybody that's asking full retail, what I like to do is I don't care that they're asking full retail. I want to find out if they're actually serious, because I've done deals with people or referred people to agents that want full retail, but they're very realistic, number one. Number two, they actually want to sell or need to sell. So let's say the ARV is $300,000. This person wants $290,000. The house is great or whatever. Maybe they owe a specific amount on the mortgage. We can still capitalize on that. And that's why you have to have more than just cash offers, right? Cash offers, creative financing, subject to all that. Or if you guys have a license, you could list it, or you could feed that listing to an agent and you can split that referral fee if done properly. Okay, you have to structure that legally in a way. All right, make sure everything's on paper. So with anybody that wants full retail leads, that don't make sense as a creative finance, because really I just focus heavily on cash offers. But if it's somebody that wants to sell, needs to sell, we'll send that to one of our agents and they'll list the property and sell it, and then we split the commission fee. Now remember, it's got to be, the commission fee is always negotiable, but keep in mind, you generate leads. It's your marketing dollars, on work for that lead. So come up with something that makes sense for you and the agent, especially if you're doing a lot of volume. Okay. Do you target land? Yes, we target land, single family. If you guys know somebody or are somebody that has any self-storage in the Southeast United States, has to be over 100 units, purchase price between 1 to 10 million. Okay. Send them my way. We'll give you equity or an assignment fee. All right. But yes, we do target land. Land is great. It's easy to comp, and there's not much left. Okay. That's the only thing that decreases in inventory. Learned a great deal from just your YouTube channel and have been watching since last year. Wow. Thank you. Definitely paying off as I've been applying everything in my scope. Boom. I love to hear this. This is why I do this, guys. This doesn't cost anything. This is me giving you free game. Okay. And if you watch this and do nothing with it, you're only hurting yourself. You know, you don't have to replicate exactly what I do, but if you replicate the same systematic approach and throw your own flavor in there, guys, you can crush it too. Okay? You've already seen what we do on here. All right. The call service you have, you can change your phone number to match area code you're calling. Yes, you can. Smartphone can do that. I have a lead that is coming out of a failed listing in Colorado. Are you open to JV on this contract? I can send you all the details if so. Yes, I actually have a good friend that lives in Colorado, and they do that, a lot of stuff in that market heavily. So shoot me a message on Instagram, okay? I'll be on the lookout for it, but I'll be more than happy to JV. Any deals you guys have, I'll be more than happy to JV, but the thing that I only ask for is that you're direct to seller. Don't send something my way that's locked up with 3 other people and you're just too many hands on the pot. You got to be direct to seller, okay? You got to have comps, all right? If you have photos or not, that's okay. If you have photos, great. If not, try to get them. But make sure you're direct to seller. I will run numbers or have my team run numbers on the property itself. And if it doesn't make sense, I'll say, hey, this price doesn't make sense. Go back to the seller, offer them this price. Then it'll make more sense, okay? So just make sure all the boxes check out. But all right, guys, we'll wrap up on that note. It's Friday. Go crush it. Have a great weekend, guys, and I will see you next time. Take care.